Hey guys, this is it. We are in week 6. I am really sorry this video is getting to you so late. I think I've had a really hard time making it because it makes it real that this is all kind of ending and we're wrapping up, but I am so proud of each and every one of you and all of the hard work you've put in over the past 6 weeks. And I really feel as though you're ready to pull everything you've learned together and tackle these next 6 weeks of holiday season time and your goals moving forward into the new year. So let's get into this. We are talking about holiday eating today. The one thing this presentation is not how to survive the holidays. That was kind of my original intention of naming this weekly focus, was going to be holiday survival guide. But the more I talked about that, internally and saying it out loud, I realized that it's not really great terminology. This is not something to be survived. If you look at the definition of survival, it's the state of continuing to exist, typically in spite of difficult circumstances. Really saying that kind of means or implying that this is going to be a battle, something to be survived, that it's you versus the holiday season for the next 6 weeks. That's not what it is. And I've been talking a lot about how you talk to yourself and how important that self-talk is. So that's why I'm nixing the whole holiday survival guide, because it's not a battle. It's not you versus the holidays. It's not you versus the food. You don't need to survive anything. If anything, it's how to thrive during this season. So the definition of thrive is to grow vigorously, to prosper, to flourish. And that's how you all are going to take on these next couple weeks of holiday eating, and you're going to thrive and really come out on the other side, being one step closer to your goals instead of 5 steps away from them. Really what this is a culmination of all of our weekly focuses. So it's not going to be a specific, okay, this is how you're going to eat Thanksgiving dinner. Don't eat this, don't eat this. You all know by now I'm not about that. It's really just how to pull together all of the habits that we've been learning week to week and really set yourself up for success over these next few weeks. If you all saw my one Instagram post a couple weeks ago, I think this really hits home for a lot of people with how you go into these next couple weeks, how you view it. If you look at the time between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I think this year with Thanksgiving being so late, it's like 28, 29 days. 3 meals a day, that's 90 meals across the holiday season. So if you account for, Thanksgiving being 1 meal and Christmas being 2, New Year's a meal, and maybe you go to like 5 parties, that's 9 or 10 meals out of 90 opportunities to make good choices. So rather than sitting here and telling you how to make improvements to those 9 or 10 meals, it's going to be more important for you to pay attention to the other 80 opportunities you have to make better choices with your nutrition. Those 10 meals aren't going to make or break what happens to you between now and January 1st. So that's why it's really important to change your mindset of how you look at it. It's not going to be just this season where people are throwing like pies and stuffing and gravy and cookies into your mouth. It's really setting yourself up to have a pretty normal, consistent nutrition plan for most of the time, and that way you can enjoy those 9 or 10 meals a little bit more without that stress of how do I do this the right way and everything. Biggest thing you can do across this holiday season is to follow your hunger cues. If you do this, you will not overeat. So whether you are at a holiday Christmas party where there is a buffet of food and cookies sitting out, or you're at Thanksgiving dinner, I want you to eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. This is really hard when you have so much food in front of you and so many opportunities to eat. But Thanksgiving dinner, how many of us, we cook for hours and hours and hours, and then you sit down to eat. Everyone just shovels all the food in your face in 2 seconds. You're done eating in 10 minutes, and then everyone just lays because you're so full because you overate. That's when follow your hunger cues. If you are eating, a dinner with a lot of food that's very delicious, have a little bit. Stop eating when you're full. You can always go back and have some of those really great leftovers afterwards. Same thing with any parties, anything you're attending. Just listen to your body. Like if you're hungry or if you're not hungry anymore, don't eat anymore. You could always have more later. Biggest thing you can do in a buffet type situation, get away from the food. Do not sit and just hang out at the food so that you will just mindlessly graze and pick up, and before you realize that you ate an extra 500 calories just because it was there out of convenience. So you're at a holiday party, you eat. When you're done, get away from the food. Put the food away if you're the one hosting the party. Find something else to do. Really engage in conversation. Enjoy being around your family and friends. Don't make it so centered on food that that's all you do for the entire night is just eat little bits at a time. Sit down to eat as much as you can. So this is, I think, something that we're all faced with at different holiday parties is you're kind of just standing, mingling, have cocktail in one hand, plate of food in the other hand, and before you know it, you're eating so much more food than your body needs. So sit down, have a conversation while you're eating, pay attention to what you're eating. Don't just mindlessly stand and graze. If you can make that one little change, it will drastically improve your chances at getting closer to your goals across the holiday season. If you can, use the plate method as often as possible. So it's really hard for Thanksgiving dinner. Everything is white and gooey and gravy, and that's okay. So Thanksgiving dinner, if you don't want to fill up half your plate with veggies because you would rather fill up half your plate with stuffing and potatoes, that's okay. But how about all your other meals? You're trying to use that plate method as often as possible. So if you're going to a friend's house, say for Friendsgiving, you don't know what food's going to be there, be the one that brings a healthier dish to a potluck. Bring a giant salad, bring some delicious roasted vegetables, or try out a new recipe. I know I saw some good Brussels sprout recipes I'm going to try this year for Thanksgiving, so that you at least know you have some veggies to fill up on. No matter what everyone else brought, you can be the one to control at least what half your plate looks like, and then fill up the other half with some of the more, hyper palatable, more, caloric dense foods. And so you're still enjoying, but you're finding that balance within not being in total control of what you're eating that day. Can't say this enough. Don't restrict yourself. I don't mean this to be a total free-for-all for the next 6 weeks, but don't try and move through Christmas time at the office white knuckling your way of not eating any of those delicious cookies, homemade Christmas cookies that Carol brought in, or the Lady Locks, or whatever it is. Don't tell yourself you're not going to eat them, but choose your treats wisely. Make a decision every single time you do it. Are they your favorite thing? Are they homemade Lady Locks, or are they store-bought and they're kind of stale? Does it taste as good as you've hoped to? Say you do make the decision to enjoy a treat at the office. When you eat it, is it as good as you wanted it to be? If not, throw it away and don't eat it. Maybe choose something different next time. Will there be more later? So every single day, people are going to be bringing in goodies and treats. It's always going to be around you. Maybe you decide, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're not going to have anything, but maybe Thursday is going to be your day to enjoy a treat, or you're going to wait until you're hungry to enjoy that treat. So don't take it off the table entirely, all of the treats that you will be presented with, but just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Wait until you're hungry next time to eat. Save a little bit of room after lunch and make sure it's your absolute favorite thing. Really ask yourself why you're eating what you're eating when you are. So why do you want to eat whatever delicious food that's in front of you? Is it because it's just a straight craving because you haven't had any sweets for a while? Is it because it's there? Or is it because you're hungry and you really enjoy having this food. If that's the case, that's when you should eat. But have that constant assessment of why you're doing it. It's going to really, just bring a little mindfulness to the holiday season when you're presented with so many delicious foods around you all the time. Biggest thing also, no guilt after you eat something. Eat it, own it. You made that choice. It's yours. You decided to eat something that is delicious and tastes good, then own it. Don't feel guilty after the fact. If you go way overboard and eat more cookies than you should have, don't have guilt associated with that, but more use it as a chance for a little bit of self-assessment. Why did you do that? That way, next time that opportunity is presented, you might be a little bit more prepared to face it, to make a better choice in that time. So we are all going to set some holiday ground rules for ourselves. We're not going to restrict, but it's a good idea to have a general plan for how we are going to move through the holiday season. So let's all take a little bit of time this week and set some holiday season minimums. I've said this with vacations before, set some minimums. You're not going to be perfect across the holiday season, and I don't expect any of you to be, but what are your bare minimums that you are going to do each day to bring you one step closer to your goal? The truth is, they're not going to be much different from what your action steps and your minimums have been for yourselves over the last 6 weeks. So I want you all to set a movement goal. Are you going to move twice a week, 3 times a week, every week during the holidays? I know we're all busy in the evening time. So what do you have to do to make that happen? Do you have to get to the gym in the morning? Do you have to do a quick 15-minute body weight circuit? Maybe it's planning a family walk after Thanksgiving dinner, playing football in the morning when your family's all over. It doesn't have to be like getting to the gym 4 times a week, 5 times a week, all during Christmas time, because that's not realistic for everyone because of our busy schedules. But set a minimum movement goal for yourself and make it something that's totally achievable. Don't say I'm going to move 6 times a week when you're going to end up not hitting that and then view yourself as a failure. Set a 3-time a week movement goal and then hit that. Set a water goal. Everyone needs a water goal. That's one thing that will definitely help keep you moving in the right direction, is if you stay up in your hydration. So, and it's something that you can hit no matter what you're doing. So I want everyone setting that minimum, 60 to 80 ounces. Just because the challenge is over doesn't mean that should stop. So that's one of the most important things to carry on from this point forward. And set a general food goal for yourself. What that means is, I normally will say, like on vacation, I'm going to eat a protein and veggies at least 2 out of 3 of my meals. So that means if you're going to that holiday party where you don't know if there's going to be a ton of vegetables, eat your 2 veggies for breakfast and lunch that day. So that way you're still having veggies with 2 out of 3 meals. Like, you're not setting yourself up for perfection, but this will just keep your other meals in more of a structure, so that those 10 meals that are going to be more caloric dense and hyper palatable, it's okay that they're not going to affect you that much. So set your minimum food goal for yourself. Even whether it's being, I'm just going to follow my hunger cues for every single meal, or I'm going to consume protein with every single meal across the holiday season. Spend a little bit of time today or sometime this week writing out your holiday season minimums and post them if you would like. Share them with us so that maybe we can all kind of collaborate as a group and see what those minimums look like. Give yourself a little bit of a daily assessment. This is something you've been doing every day in the challenge with your accountability trackers. So you can, 1, continue that tracker. Feel free to modify it as you would like to fit what your, holiday season minimums are. But I think you've all been really enjoying that little assessment of what's my overall week looking at, like, rather than looking at one specific meal, let's look at by the day, by the week. How's everything looking at? Remember, consistency over perfection every time. So let's look at everything as a whole rather than individual little meals. So continue that accountability tracker, or just kind of have that going to bed at night. Okay, did I hit my minimums today? Yes. You know what? No, I didn't have veggies twice today. What can I do tomorrow to make tomorrow a little bit better? So how do I better plan out my day to make sure I'm at least hitting those minimums? It's going to really set you up for a very good mindset across the holiday season to feel as though you're in control of all of your nutrition choices. And it's also going to make you feel like a success. And in all of that self-talk is what matters. It's the difference between feeling like I'm so bad, I did so bad, I have to feel so guilty about how poorly I've eaten over the holiday season, or going into it saying, I have total control over what I'm eating. It is my decision to eat X, Y, and Z for these reasons. And it's just all about how you talk to yourself and how you think about it. So coming to a conclusion of not just talking about eating around the holidays, but a conclusion of this 6-week challenge. I want you all feeling so confident in yourselves and feeling like you have control over your food choices every single meal, every single day. You can do this. Believe it. I have seen you all do this. I have seen you all gain these new habits and this confidence in what you are choosing to eat every single meal. So please do not forget that, during the holiday season and beyond. You can do this. I believe in you. I need you to believe in yourself. Be kind to yourself. Talk to yourself how you would talk to a friend. Don't be so hard on yourself. Remember, it's just food. It doesn't make you who you are. It can tell you a lot about who you are if you have that confidence in what you're eating, but just watch how you talk to yourself about it. I'm gonna cry. I'm really sad right now. All right, when in doubt, fall back on your basic habits. Say you feel like things are getting out of control and you need to, have that moment where you regroup and you get overwhelmed and you don't know how to do that. Start small. Fall back on, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna stop eating when I'm full. Tomorrow I'm going to drink my water. Tomorrow I'm going to not restrict myself and try and plan a treat into the day. Fall back on those things we've been talking about. Rewatch these weekly focus videos if you need a little reminder on those basic habits. But those are what are going to pull you through and keep pushing you towards your long-term goals. Just go back to them. When in doubt, basic habits work all the time. Remember that this is a lifelong journey that you have begun, that we've begun together over the past 6 weeks. One meal, one day, 1 week will not make or break your progress. If you let that one meal or day or week where you're totally out of control snowball, that's what's going to make or break your progress. So no matter what you ate yesterday, it is never a bad time to get back to your basic habits. So remember that if things get a little crazy over the next few weeks. If you are feeling lost and you are feeling like you are losing control and slipping back into your old habits, reach out for help before it gets out of control. Message me, message Vicki. If you choose not to move on to phase 2 coaching right away after this challenge, message us. Maybe you need to go back, come back into some one-on-one nutrition coaching to really get you refocused on your goals, needing that extra accountability. Continue to set those small goals for yourself. Just because we're not in a challenge doesn't mean you shouldn't have goals for yourself. Set 3-month goals, 6-month goals, year-long goals. Revisit those goals to make sure you are on a plan that is going to keep you moving toward them, that you can have that assessment of, is this working? Is this not working? What can I do to make it a little bit better? You have to have this constant assessment of how to make your life as good and as healthy as possible. That's what we're here to do. If you need help, if you would like the extra accountability, Vicki and I would love to continue working with you to give you that, to bring you closer to your goals and hitting those goals, setting new ones, hitting those, and just killing it. You guys are the best. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll be looking to see you all this weekend at our wrap-up seminar or just little get-together on Saturday at 10 a.m. There is no workout this weekend, so we're going to be concluding everything on Saturday. If you have not gotten your scan or scheduled your appointment for a scan, please reach out to me as soon as possible, and we can get you squeezed in to get that before Saturday. I already announced the weekly mini challenge, and that's to write a Google review of the Arsenal Nutrition Program and screenshot it and post it. We really appreciate the feedback. If you have any specific feedback of the challenge, good, bad, whatever, post it in the group. Email me, email Vicki. We would love to hear your feedback on how we can continue to make this program better for you. Enjoy, guys. Talk to you soon.